Hey team, welcome to our weekly team call. Today is April 16th and we are going to talk all about our upcoming team-wide Become a Coach workshop or Side Hustle to Success. I literally don't know what we call it. I just call it whatever you want. It's a coach opportunity workshop that Amber and I host for us, our prospects, and also your prospects. And so this call, we really want to focus on what this group is. We're going to give examples on how to invite to it with posts and stories. And we're going to talk about scripts. We want to hear from you guys and what you guys find is helpful. And then also one thing that Amber and I realized is really important is because we're bringing new coaches on the team and we're really excited for everybody who's new and getting started. And even more so, we're excited for you guys bringing on new coaches. But we are working on a better onboarding system because we want you guys to feel really confident in bringing new coaches onto the team. So even if you're still figuring out your bearings, we're going to have awesome tools for you guys to plug your people into and our people into as well. So yeah, it's going to be the first half. I think we'll just go over the team call topic, which is the workshop, and then examples and whatnot, and then we can open it up a little bit for the second half. But I just wanted to say congrats to those who are already in Success Club this month. I didn't have time to finish the board, but there are people on the board and in Success Club, so congratulations. We still have a week and a half to make it happen. Or actually 2 weeks today to make it happen. There's plenty of time still, and I just would really focus on the invites and the output and remembering pretend right now is the end of the month so that you're not hustling on the 28th, 29th, and 30th, freaking out. Amy talked about it on last week's Set Your Soul on Fire call, but I totally see this happen too, is that coaches wait till the end of the month to hit Success Club and then they burn out trying so hard, working so hard, and then they have to take a break, they take a break because they're exhausted from that burnout, and then they end up in this cycle. So it's really important that you lock it in before the end of the month so you get yourself in a good place, and it also helps you create a good flow. But you can use the Coach Sneak Peek also to get people signed up and get Success Club too. That being said, so as I stated, Amber and I are hosting our next workshop, Coach Opportunity Workshop. I almost called it something. I don't even know what I almost called it. I think on Facebook right now it's called Side Hustle to Success Workshop, right? And it is a 2 to 3 day group. I think that it's going to be 3 days this time because last month it was 2 days, and I think it's 3 days because it'll be the 25th, the 26th, and the 27th. And the 27th is sign up day, and that's special because that's my birthday. I'm a freak. Sorry, guys. Anyways, so you still have well over a week to invite to it. You've got a week and a half. And so it's really important that first and foremost, you never just add anybody. I know everybody is great in here and they wouldn't do this, but I just like to throw it out there because, common sense, but whatever. It happens from time to time where people just add people to the group. And so make sure that you're getting people's consent before you add them in there and that they're interested in coaching. And Amber and I will be going live to share the what is coaching, how we got started. We share how to earn and how to get started and their first goals. And we're going to really focus on hyping them up and getting them started to get them ready to run, because that's what we want for you guys. And that's what we want for our new coaches too. We want people who aren't just going to dilly-dally. I like that term for business dilly-dalliers. We don't want dilly-dalliers. We want people who are going to run across the freaking street. My dad would be really proud of that analogy. Anyways, so we want to focus on that. And so Amber and I are working on this week coming up with a new coach marketing plan. And later on, we're going to talk more and get your guys' input. But a lot of the times you see coaches like Amy and there's a Set Your Soul on Fire new coach marketing plan. That there's, or Set Your Soul. Yeah. There's coach marketing plans, monthly marketing plans. I'm sorry, I literally can't talk today. I apologize, and I hope you guys know what I'm talking about. So there are monthly marketing plans. Moira swears by them. A lot of coaches do. I need to be better about them, honestly, because it really helps get you into a flow for your business. So you know what you're inviting to when. You also know when groups are happening and all the good stuff and sales. And so we kind of came up with the idea to create a first 30-day new coach marketing plan. So then new coaches aren't scrambling. And so this is for any month, but it'll be have your welcome post, invite to your challenge group, share what you're doing, go live, different instructional things to do to really help people focus on getting in Success Club and getting into Emerald in their first month. So we're really going to put that focus on this sneak peek too, which I am really excited for. Because it just makes it more fun when people get their first wins right away. So, yeah, coach sneak peeks are great for anybody who is a current customer, anybody who's ever had a price objection. You could say, you could earn your product for free by helping people get started with you. They're good for anybody who's ever asked you what coaching is. And then anybody who you think would be amazing at coaching. We all have those dream team people in our head. Off the top of my head, I can think of 5 people who I know who I believe would be amazing at coaching. And those are the people you want to invite, because if you don't invite them to the party, they're never going to know that they're invited and that they can join you. And we often think with social media that even though our posts are really obvious and we say, we want you in here if you're reading this, people still think, oh, well, I couldn't do that. So it is really important that you are sending out those invites. And a great way to do that is obviously by sharing about it with your post. So I put together a little flyer with example posts, and I'll share this in the team page later too. Hopefully you guys can actually see it. I guess all the text is really small. So I picked 4 different posts about coaching, and it was inviting to an opportunity. I loved the one that Bree did because it really focuses on the community. And it reads, person, I wish I could get paid to get fit and help other people. Me, hello. I've been shouting from the rooftops for 4 years now that your dream job does exist, and I'll personally mentor you to build your fitness business from the comfort of your home with your pup on your lap. So she talks about other coaches on the team that were on this trip. And then I really like her verbiage here. I'm opening positions on my team tomorrow, and they're first come, first serve. Just DM me or fave emoji if you want me to send you more info. A few side effects of joining the team: being a part of the best fit fam around town, increased happiness, confidence, fulfillment, and traveling the world with your best friends. Not a bad gig, huh? So that's a fun way to just share about the opportunity and focus on the community aspect. Amy just did this post today, and it was just talking about longing to be outside and having a job where she gets that freedom, and inviting to her coach workshop that she's hosting. And so she's sharing a little bit about her income here too. But she also talks about educating you on what she does for a living and how you can literally work from anywhere in the world. So you'll find these common trends, but it's telling a story and telling people that they have the opportunity to overcome whatever limiting beliefs or the things that coaching can give them. I also love this post that Amber did the other day, because Amber, you don't just work with moms, obviously, but that is a big part of your brand. And I like that. She posted a cute photo, which now I realize the photo that I posted of me and we're in the same romper. I just figured that out. We're twinning. Anyways, so she talked directly to other moms. And I think this is really cool because especially people, I'm a cat mom and I love working from home, so I can be surrounded by my cats, so I can talk about that. But she used that specifically and talked about how she mentors them into getting into this business and running right away. So, it's a really there are these common themes. And I think in this post, I just talked about like the different, so I talked about why I was grateful for coaching, because I get really bad migraines, and I had a really bad one for like a few days. And then I was saying I was migraine free, and I spent the day on calls welcoming new coaches. And I was talking about the workshop that I was hosting whenever we were hosting this one. I think it was from a couple months ago. And then I said I just like invited them to join. I talked about, you know, like the difference between the dreamers and the doers is the dreamers let fear stop them because they don't feel ready, and doers acknowledge the fear and obstacles and then do it anyway. So all of these things, like, they're pretty photos. They're eye-catching. And I mean, these girls have really cute rompers. I don't know. But they all share a story. They talk about obstacles they're overcoming, or excuses they're overcoming, or ways that it can enhance somebody's life. And then they all have an invite to join them. And so what I love about that is, now I'm trying to end this share screen. I can't figure it out because I moved my thing. Okay, stop share. Okay, so it all like blends. And again, you can look at other coaches and see how they're doing it, but it has like a flow. And I just really encourage you guys to get creative with your posts for the next week and a half up until the sneak peek, during the sneak peek, because even once it starts, you should still be posting about it and sharing about it. But get creative, find different ways to talk about it. Remember, eye-catching photos. People want to see you. They want to hear about the community. They want to hear about the things that you may think are little things, but ways that coaching is benefiting your life, and that they can join you. And one thing to remember with that too is that the post is just the first step. It's like after the people like the post and comment on the post, you're going to go invite those people. And we have scripts to invite to the coaching opportunity based off of people liking your posts that are in both the team pages, so you can reference those. Now I'll give Amber.
Okay, hi. Sorry. So this time of day has proven to be like a really, really bad time for me, but I'm still here because Violet is like, she's finally kind of falling asleep, but she just was screaming her head off a few seconds ago, and she frazzles me and it makes me unable to even get my thoughts together, but I'm going to do my best. And she's not screaming now. But and so I also wanted to touch on, so Kate gave those examples, and the reason why this business, like what we do, is so much about consistency and repetition. So I did that post about, you know, talking directly to moms, talking about, you know, like, I thought it was a great post. I've had zero people reach out to me about that. And that was yesterday morning. So there's still going to be time, but anyone that likes it, I can go message them. So, and it's not always, sometimes you're going to feel like you're putting yourself out there and you've come up with the most moving, compelling, beautiful invitation. And you're going to feel really like, what the heck? Nobody filled out my application. Nobody reached out to me. Nobody DM'd me. And that's okay, because they're still watching. So you have to like keep doing it. So the reason why, so this sneak peek is next, what's today? Today is the 16th. So it's next week, towards the end of the week, right? Yeah. Okay. So it's neat. So the reason why we're making this call the focus on this is so we have time to promote it. So I talked about that yesterday, and I'm planning on talking about it like every day up until the 25th, because I'm going to talk about it on my stories, which is what I wanted to talk a little bit more and give you guys examples. But it's about like consistency. And then obviously, you know, we talk a lot about the 4 vitals and being a product of the product. And if you're showing up on your social media, it's not just going to be all about the coaching opportunity. You're mixing it into everything else going on in your life. Hopefully you're sharing, you know, what you're eating, your workouts, like just little facets about what we're doing. So then it's not such a like surprise if you message someone and say, hey, do you want to join my team? And they're like, what the heck are you talking about? Like, they need to be able to see, you know, what that is. And it's okay if they are like, well, I don't understand, like, what is that? And then that's when you can segue into being like, oh, you should be in our group and we're going to talk about it. And so it's low pressure. You just, you know, the way I'm doing it is so I'm doing polls, and I was going to talk about stories. So I did that post like Kate showed, and I'm going to, I can message everyone that liked it, And there were a few people that commented on it, but not a lot, because I was hoping people would talk about more about stuff, and they didn't, but that's okay. I can still use it as a way to like start conversations. And then invite them to the group. And what I like to do is give them the link to the Facebook group, so then they can request, and that way I keep track of them. And hopefully you're keeping track of this stuff, whether you're writing it down or keeping notes, but it's really important to keep track of the people that you are talking to. I love the National Wake Up Call yesterday, so if you guys haven't watched it yet, make sure that you watch it. But I loved her whole approach, because it was very like type A, which I am not, very, very structured. And her whole point was like, I don't have time to think about this stuff. So I need to be, because she's like a mom to 3 kids under 6, and she does this part-time, and she's an elite coach. So to me, that's goals. Like, I would love to be able to just tune in for a couple hours a day and then peace out and know exactly what I'm doing when I'm doing it. And that having a plan is so, so key. And I think all of us just need to have that structure, so we don't feel like we're just like wasting time or trying to figure out what we're doing. And so that's what we and cater like tangible like action steps to take, so you know what you should be talking about and what to be sharing about. And then keeping a list. And what I liked she said was work off a list. So working off a list could be anyone that liked your post, anybody that commented on your poll, thinking of just organically people like your dream team, like Kate said. It's just about working off a list and then writing that down, and then have it that way you have people to follow up with. And if you start these systems soon, like the sooner the better, then you always know what to do. You always know who to follow up with and who to talk to, and who, there's nothing wrong with following up with people over and over and over again. So I don't know how to share it, but I screenshot it. So today on my stories, where is it? I did, bear with me. So I don't know if you guys can see. You guys can always go look too, but I did a poll. I'll read it to you. But it's a picture of my income post. There we go. That I posted the other day. And then because you can just share your posts. This is like news to me. I mean, I figured you could do it, but I just realized if you hit the little paper airplane, you can share your post to your stories. So I think that posts get lost. The algorithms, not everyone's maybe seeing our posts, so it's not a bad idea to share your posts inside your stories. Just maybe you'll reach more people. And then, I used it, even though I already posted that about income, I used that as an opportunity to create a poll today. So I think it's a really good idea when you're creating a poll to create 2 yeses. Today, my options were, what did I say? My question was, who's ready to learn more April 25th or 27th in my Become a Coach workshop? And my options were so ready or curious but nervous. So basically, and I got 78% of people were curious but nervous. So that still is not a no, as opposed to saying like yes or no, or like, because we don't want to hear no. Even if it is a no, it's still an opportunity for me to like spark up a conversation. And so what I'm doing from there, I'll copy and paste this in the, I can put it in the chat, but I can also just put it in our team page. But what I said today was, thanks for voting on my poll. I'm glad you're interested. My team is putting together a 3-day group on Facebook, April 25th or 27th, that will explain more about what we do. Request to join here. Here's the link. And make sure you say I sent you. So that's what I'm doing. And like I said, it's not just like a one in time. Yeah, I'll share that in your page too, Kate. So it's really about repetition. And the more I hear about successful coaches talking, it's like you kind of have to take the emotion out of it a little bit and not be scared of rejection, as far as being okay with inviting and just being open to doing it over and over and over again. It's going to feel like weird at first. It's going to feel uncomfortable at first. But if you are authentically sharing your journey, then those people that come into your space, that like your pictures and comment on your stuff, to me, there's nothing weird about reaching out to those people. So you're going to have more people to reach out to if you're consistently sharing. So that's my opinion on cold invites. If you're producing enough content, every day on your stories and posts and Facebook and all that stuff, then you're always going to have people that you can talk to, and it doesn't have to feel weird. And it's all about every day taking the steps and actions of inviting these people. Like, yes, we're talking about the coaching opportunity, but I want this to trickle into all the time. Like, as far as a marketing plan going, like, are you inviting to a group right now? Do you have a date in mind? Are you talking about it? Like, I always know ahead of time what I'm going to be inviting to next. So that's my spiel on that. Oh, I was going to say though, so for IG stories, so my example was income. And it doesn't have to be money though. So other things that you can do, that you can kind of construct your posts about, or even your story polls about, can be community, accountability, discounts. Even if you're like, here's a picture of me drinking my cute shake and I save so much money on this every month. I mean, it can be something else. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be income related. So it can be discounts. It can be something about trips. You could always talk about how you're excited about the trip next year and you're working hard to earn your spot on that trip and you're looking for teammates to join you. I mean, project what you want for the future too. There's nothing wrong with putting out there what you're building. So those are just some other examples of IG stories, because they're going to disappear. They move so fast. You can put a bunch of them up there. So I suggest every day putting something up about coaching in general. Like I said, so it doesn't have to be income. It can be community. It can be like a picture of our call here. It can be, talk about your virtual girl gang. You can talk about, there's so many. If you need more ideas, I can help you. But but just every day sharing something like that. And then if you throw in a poll or a call to action, that just gives you more opportunities of conversations to have, because not everyone is going to come to you. I can say 4 years of doing this, I do lots of call to action posts, and my business is not just run off people coming to me. I have to talk to people and start those conversations. So, yeah.
And one thing that I wanted to add with that too is, especially when you're a newer coach and you feel like maybe you don't have that income to share yet, please share your vision and what you're working towards, because that motivated me so much as a coach, hearing Amy talk about what she was working for before she got there. And still, I love watching coaches talk about that. And in the beginning, I was like, well, I don't have this crazy income to share about. I don't have this crazy transformation yet. So I talked about my vision and what I was building and what I was working hard for, and that I was working hard for the freedom that I could create through this opportunity. I did talk a lot about the community. I did talk a lot about the little wins, the discounts. You get discounts on Lululemon with their Sweat Collective for being a Beachbody coach. You can do there are so many things, and I've used this example a billion times. So people like Eden and Amber, I know you've, and probably Amanda and Katie, you've heard me say this, you're struggling with ways to talk about coaching, or even in general, it's a good exercise to just do now because you have a week and a half to invite to the coaching workshop. Share a list, or write down a list of 10 to 20 ways that you can talk about coaching. And nothing is too big or too little, because I remember when I was Amy's challenger and she was like, you should be a coach, you should be a coach. I said no, by the way, so many times. I would watch her social media, and it would be Team Set Your Soul on Fire. And she would share other girls from the team and be like, set your soul on fire. And I was like, I want to be a part of that. Things that you may not think are big things can really impact people. So no matter how big or how little, whether it's being personal development is part of your job, fitness is part of your job, eating well is a part of your job. If you struggle with staying accountable, become a coach. It's the best accountability. But write a list of 10 to 20 ways, and I'm even going to do this tonight too, to really push yourself outside of your comfort zone and talk about those things. And besides the polls, one thing I just thought about with the stories too, and again, this is all about repetition. There is the story feature. If you scroll down and you go to, and I can't really get this to show like I want it to. Nope, it's not going to. This might be too bright. I don't know. But there's the questions feature. And you can add a little question, but you can even talk about something and then be drop your email or say yes that you want to join, and you can say it repetitively. Be like, you're talking about coaching, you're inviting to this workshop, and every story be like, drop your email, 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 like 4 or 5 times in a row. You will see Amy do that. You will see Bree Headley do that. You will see me and Amber do that like multiple times. It's all about the repetition. Again, because it gets people thinking, and they may be like, because people are more likely to not go back on your stories. I realize that when like you talk about a product that maybe you mentioned and they're like, well, what was the product? I was like, I literally just mentioned it. But so people want to go forward before they want to go backwards. So give somebody that second, third, fourth, fifth chance to change their mind, and focus on that repetition. That being said, Amber and I were talking about something that we want to start doing also for our workshop is we want to have you guys volunteer, and we ideally want people who are on these calls. We want to reward you guys for showing up for these calls. And we're still trying to figure out exactly how we want to work this, whether we want you guys to go live or just share your story or like in a post or something in there with like a different thing, because we're going to be going live talking about the different topics for the workshop. But would anybody like to volunteer and get outside their comfort zone? Eden? Okay.
I would be willing to do it if I have a game plan for what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I totally. Like a plan. Otherwise, I'll choke up and I won't be able to.
Okay. And you guys, you can think about this. I'm not going to actually be like calling, like you can think about it while you're on here and listening. And even if you're watching the recording, you can reach out to Amber and I and be like, I'm interested. Like, I'm not going to like make this awkward. But no, I'm excited, Eden and Ari, to have you guys. This will be fun.
Yeah, I was thinking that it could be just because, okay, so it's 3 days, and this is basically like Amy's format. So this is what Amy does for her Coach Sneak Peeks, except she runs them by herself. And so we've basically taken her Become a Coach workshop and then just switched it up. So me and Kate, there's 4 videos. I don't remember.
We did 3 last time, but there are 4. So
okay, so it's like 4 topics over 3 days. Yeah. And so I don't want there to be, so I'm thinking with like the people that are helping, it might be better to do like just posts or something, because I just feel like the more, you know how it's not in order. So it's like, I don't want people to be like, I don't want to give people another reason to be like, I don't have time. So maybe we could talk more about it, but it could be something like you just share, you know, how you became a coach, benefits of coaching. I don't know. Maybe we'll give you a topic or just something, but maybe a post would be better than a video. I don't know. We'll talk about it, because I like videos, but I just want to get this as streamlined as possible. That's why we've been working on trying to make our videos each day. Like, you know, usually I go over like income. I try to make it like 10 minutes, because anything longer, you lose people. So that's just a thought. So just want to keep it.
And one other fun idea that we could do to give people like an option for if we do focus on the post, but everybody, all the coaches in there, because you guys have to remember too, well, we may be running the group, whether you are going to help us out or not. If you are adding people, you better believe I want to see your participation. I want to see you commenting and tagging the people that you add, like not just tagging them and being like, here's day 1, be like, here's day 1. Video 1, excited to learn more about you, post your photo and tag me, like engage them, send them a message and tell them that you're in there. Like people don't like to just be added to groups and feel weird, but when they know you're invested, that's huge. So I want to see our participation. And one other fun thing that we could do, and I always forget that now groups have the story feature, and we could even, Amber and I could mention it, or we could mention it in the post or whatever, that we could all share parts of our day when we're working out, when we're eating, when we're, you know, working, and be like, this is a work selfie. This is what work looks like for me.
I love that idea, because then it's like day in the life into all of our, like what we're doing, you know, because a lot of us have other jobs or children or, you know, like things going on. So I think that would be really cool. And then we could just keep saying like, hope everybody's watching the stories. And that way it's like less like noise in the main group. Also too, you know, we talk all about community. And like I think we'll convey that more if in the group we're all like supporting each other. So there's been times where me and Kate are running this group together and I've added nobody, but I still like and comment on her people. You know, I still like, they'll open their heart up about what's going on, why they're thinking about the opportunity, and I'll comment on them, you know, even though they're not like my prospect. So we want you guys to feel invested in the group too. Hopefully you'll have people in there that are your prospects, but just to create more of that, I think that would just help the energy maybe a little bit more over the 3 days, and just make people feel more like, oh, okay, they're all working together, you know?
Yeah, and I think that's fun too, and it gets people excited because we are on these team calls and we get really hyped up from these. So it's just like creating that community aspect and loving on everybody in there, and welcoming them. What was I going to say with that too? There was something else. Oh, we have a week and a half. We have literally so much time. So instead of saying, I hope you guys have prospects in there, I'm just going to challenge you all to have like 10 people. It is not that many people. I feel like everybody who's watching this and everybody who's participating should have a minimum of 10 people. And honestly, so I'm in Amy's PS group. Obviously, I'm her personally sponsored coach. And she runs a group like this for her coaches too. And she makes them like, she's like, I'm not running it this month if you guys can't get 100 people in. And if you're participating, you need to have 10 to 15 people in. And she makes them like really participate. And it's not even making them, because this is your job. And it should just be an expectation for you that you are inviting people to do this and getting excited about it. So I just really want to challenge everybody. We have over a week to invite people and get people in there. And again, you're not going to just reach out to 10 people and get 10 yeses. Like it's going to take inviting. It's going to take putting yourself out there, maybe getting rejection. But again, it's all planting seeds. If they are no this month, I'm busy this month, they will come around when they see you continuing to kick ass on your fitness journey, continuing to have these wins, continuing to share about this life that you're creating for yourself. So I really want to challenge everybody to at least have like 10 people for the sneak peek next week, because it's next weekend. Do it as a birthday present to me since it's my birthday. I'm just going to use that.
You could use that in the group too. Be like, hey, it's sign up day. It's my birthday.
Exactly.
Oh, sorry.
You know, I totally will too.
I just want to say, Era wrote that she did an entire 24 hours on her stories last month about what it looks like to coach part-time. And she said, I got 2 people signed up that watch them. So that's really cool. I've been meaning to do that, but I feel like at this point, everyone already knows that's like what I'm doing all day long is coaching. But I definitely think that if you have another job or you are a student, then that's important to show that how you fit it in. So I love that idea. And it's just like it's like a free reality show you're running. And then as far as getting 10 people into the sneak peek, I feel like that isn't that hard if we start now, because it's pretty low bar. I mean, all they have to do is get into the group. Like they just have to be somewhat interested in coaching. They don't have to, I mean, we want them to participate, but it's not like we're not asking for any money. We're not asking them to commit to anything. It's a low pressure opportunity call for 3 days. So, so I feel like it doesn't have to be scary. It should be fun. So I challenge accepted.
I have some random thoughts about what we're talking about. With the sharing on the stories that you guys were just talking about, you could even do a highlight. Like for people who are like, well, I don't have time all the time to share 24 hours, like what we're doing. You could do one day, make it a highlight, and then reference it all the time in your stories. Be like, check out my highlight for what a day in life as coaches. Also. And then I heard I think it was Kate Schultz, and I've been thinking about this a lot, and I'm curious because Kate and Amber, you've been doing this longer. Do you feel like personally, like when you do a 3-day workshop, day 1 is the most momentum and then it kind of piddles off?
Not if you're doing it right. Like, I mean, sometimes it even takes till day 2 before everybody freaking posts on the day 1 post. I think it depends on the number of people that you have in there and how engaged you are and how excited you are. I don't know if you've seen my videos, and you guys, and I bring a special kind of like enthusiasm to these groups, and I do on these calls too. But like, anybody who worked customer service or retail, like raise your hand, you all have a customer service voice. And I realize I still do it when I go out in public, when I'm talking to employees. I always ask them how their day is first. Like, it's just your energy. I bring a hell of a lot of enthusiasm to these videos. I like psych myself up, like get in the room, and I like bring that enthusiasm. So I think having that enthusiasm there and just like hyping it, like tagging everybody in the videos, messaging them to make sure they're seeing the videos, like there are ways to keep people engaged.
I agree. I think it depends, but I do notice that by day 3 there is some drop off. I was going to ask Eden, were you going to say that does Kate Schultz do like a
I saw that
one?
she just switched it because I know that she like, and I've seen in Diamond trainings that she does like generally a 3-day or even like a 4-day, I think. But I saw recently that she did one on a whim right before the cruise where she did a 1-day, and like then I saw her talk about it. I don't know where I saw her talk about it, but I saw her talk about that's like her new thing, 1 day, because she's the type of person who's like the first day, everything's so high momentum. She does 3 videos and it's just the 1 day, and she's been getting signups left and right because of people's attention spans. But then again, I was in Kate's workshop when, you know, like it was a 3-day workshop and I ate it up. So it was just a thought.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe if it's just you, like if it's just like one person doing it and it's 1 day, but like with multiple people.
I agree. I that last month I feel like I dropped the ball a little bit because I didn't have a lot of prospects in there, and it was just like a crazy time. But we tried to do like a 2-day because I was thinking that I was like, maybe let's try something different. Like so I like the idea of a 1 day, especially if you're one person, especially if you're Kate Schultz though, because apparently she just has no problem signing people up. BRB.
But I think it's all about trying different things and what we could even do, because Amber and I we didn't get our shit together fast enough this month to do 2 this month. But what we could even do next month is, because we'll have the whole month, and if we like make the plan, we could try a 1-day one and then also do the 2-day one, like, or a 3-day one like we do every month. So we can like, it's all about trying different things and seeing what works. And like, we've done the coach opportunity calls, and I've noticed I get less turnaround. So like, I mean, and I think I've done one before, a 1-day one, or like an all-day event type of thing. But it's been so long. So it could be fun just trying it out, and maybe we can find her format somewhere or something.
Yeah, I think she uses the same format. I don't remember, like I really wish maybe I can find what video I saw this in, but I'm pretty sure it's like time and tasks, what it's like to be a coach, and then like objections, like money objections and everything about coaching. It's something like that she does those 3, or at least that's what she said. That's what it was in one of the Diamond things that I was in. That's what she said her format usually is. But she was talking about how just in like 1 day that it was just easier to keep the momentum, like the hype and everything like that. And I don't know, it was just a thing. But I see it as, she was like, personally, it's just me. Like if I have my coaches doing it with me and other people doing it with me, then 1 day is not going to work because, like, you know, there's multiple people wanting to talk and videos. But I think it was like her 3 videos done. And she signed up like 8 people in 1 day. And she's like, it's my new system. So I'm doing those every weekend. And then I'm doing a team-wide one like once a month or something for the entire team. I don't know where I heard this. I don't remember. I think it was in the team. I will. I'll look it up because I watched it probably like somewhere on YouTube, and I was like, I thought it was interesting because I usually am the type of person that just wants to listen to it and like binge through it and make a decision. So I don't know.
I do like that idea because on one hand, you might get more people that are just like gung-ho that day. They might not all end up working the business, but at least you're recruiting more people in general. Because then I'm also like, well, I don't know if I want someone on my team that doesn't have the attention span to stick it out. So it's like hard, you know, because I'd want them to like want to pay attention and stuff. What about doing like a more, I think we talked about this before, but like a giveaway. So there's more incentive. Like whoever signs up gets something cool. Like, so then they stick around to the end.
Or even go in and we could do that, or like everybody who signs up the day of like sign up day gets entered in to win something.
Yeah,
I think I've heard in the past people doing a Q&A giveaway where they do like ask your questions here, like put yourself, like your questions you actually want to answer, and then everybody like answers them, all the different coaches in the group, and then they give away whatever it might be.
I like giving away something for somebody signing up more than a Q&A personally. But yeah, I mean, they're all different things we can try. And that's why we do these calls, so we can bounce back ideas and like figure out different things that we can try.
Yeah, and we could, if we want to do this all the time, if we get in the habit of doing this twice a month, then we can just try different things. We could try Q&A. We can try everybody gets some kind of prize.
All the things.
Everything.
Just like showing more people the opportunity. It's a fun way to do it. What else what did we want to brainstorm? Oh, I remember we were going to ask you guys, and this was Amber's idea, so I'm going to give you credit, because we are structuring a new coach marketing plan, but we're thinking of even making a challenge group specifically for new coaches to add their prospects to for their first like month or 2 months. I can't talk again. So we're kind of like brainstorming different ideas to really create the tools and systems we have in place to like copy paste, but get people started right away. So we were kind of wondering, as new coaches, like what you would find helpful for getting started right away. So what you would want on a marketing plan, like would a challenge group that was already up, like ready for you with all the post plans and that type of thing, be something that like you would just invite? Like, would you feel good about inviting to that, knowing that it's already set up for you to do that too? I don't know.
I mean, I have opinions. I always have opinions. If anybody else wants to talk, you can interrupt. But I noticed, okay, so I have 2 working coaches right now, and so what I did, which I found was really helpful for me personally, and this is, but you know how they've redone in the Beachbody Champions page, like all of the Success Club tracker, and they made the videos in sync with the Success Club tracker. So what I did in my team page was I set up units on the side of my page based on the Success Club tracker. And so that is like their new coach workshop. It sends them to each of the videos, but I can track their progress about where they're at. And they've been very minimal questions, watching all the videos. And that's been really cool as far as like new coach. And they felt that was really helpful. But that's just, I based it off of that in the Success Club tracker in units. So I could also see where they're at, because if you send them to the champions page, then you have to go through millions of people to figure out if they've seen it. Whereas if you reference it to your page, then at least you can track where your coaches personally are at. So like that was helpful. I don't know.
So yeah, that could be helpful for like a training group, or whether it's our team pages, or
yeah, if it's for new coaches, and like, or to at least maybe like go off, I don't know. I guess it depends on if you want to track, but they're liking it. They're blowing through it. They understand things a lot faster, I feel like.
I like that.
But I feel like the number one question everybody always asks is about social media when they're a new coach.
Okay. So like a month, if we did a monthly marketing plan, which told you like what to post, what kind of post to post, like what to talk about on what day in your first 30 days, that would be really helpful.
That would be cool. So it's like a layout of like, here's your first 30 days of like Monday through posting on your stories and posting like actual posts. That would be probably super helpful for someone new, because they get all caught up into it, I feel.
I realize it's going to take time because but I thought about that and I was like, I think that would have been really helpful for me as a new coach. And I just got the idea looking at a monthly marketing plan, and I was just like, oh, why don't we create a 30-day new coach monthly marketing plan? Like, why isn't that there? And of course, like it's kind of talked about in the groups, but just having like a set thing that somebody can look at, be like, today, this is what I'm going to talk about. Today, this is what I'm inviting to. Today, I'm going to go live, like that type of thing, that kind of structure.
Yeah, I feel like also with the social media aspects, a lot of people go right from, I don't know what to post, to like, I don't know how to make it look good. type of thing. So like photo editing, and also like maybe ideas about how to take photos. Cause I noticed like even with my 2 coaches, they were like, well, I just don't, I don't have a person with me all the time to take photos. And I was like, girl, just set your camera up on video and video yourself and do poses, do them slow, and then screenshot the video. And they're like mind blown. Just like even little tips like that for people who are starting off.
Yeah. Or I mean, I don't even, and it's not as like the photo that I just posted on Instagram and Facebook was a selfie, and I don't like to use the front camera. And I mean, I have an 8, so I feel like once I have a 10, my camera will be better. I need to. It's just going to be something that I invest in sooner or later. I wanted to pay off this phone more before I bought the 10. Anyways, but I just do it so I can see myself, and I just do the self timer for 10 seconds, and I like situate myself a bunch of times. And then sometimes I'll do it. I normally, if I have more time than I had today, I just set it up. I do it first so I can see, and then I set it up the other way. So, you know, I literally use this water bottle. I went outside on my back deck. I got caught by neighbors. Really awkward. But it happens all the time. It's been awkward when I was like in bikinis doing it. So at least I was wearing full clothing this time. But yeah, just like little photo hacks.
Also time management. I feel like everybody struggles with time management, right? Like if it's for new coaches, right? That's what we're talking about, like new coach workshop training.
Just things that would help you as a new coach.
Yeah, time management, I feel like, is another thing that everybody stresses about. Because it's something just it's like their health and fitness journey, and like really focusing on themselves and adding that in, and like knowing that even took time, but then like they're like scattered about, like it's the same process, you know, you got to start to introduce it and it'll happen. But time management.
Yeah.
Social media, time management, I feel like are the number one questions.
No, that's really helpful. Even.
I had to walk away because my baby was screaming. Amanda, I like how you're holding the dog like a little baby. Or was. I need to look into units more. So thanks for reminding me that, because that's something that is not even new to Facebook, and I'm still like, what? So I will figure it out, because when I don't know something, I will find a way to figure it out. So thanks for reminding me on that. What did I miss? Were you just writing down things for the marketing plan?
Or just things that they've found helpful.
Okay.
Eden would find helpful.
To talk about as a new coach?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have something.
Okay.
So oftentimes the people that I sign up have a lot of interests. They're, all across the board. So I think like maybe extra help with like honing in on like branding. I don't know if someone already mentioned that. I apologize. But yeah. And then also like I hear some coaches, new coaches sometimes, they're like have like anxiety about being on social media so much. And I don't really know how to combat that. I guess that goes with like the time management. I guess that can all be like incorporated, but maybe just like a little bit highlight and like, yeah, see, this is where that comes into play,
And I mean, honestly, that goes back to like the vital behaviors and personal development. I don't think anybody posts as much. I mean, actually, I take that back. I see people post on social media as much as we post, but it's like obnoxious things, or like they share ridiculous quotes or things from funny pages every single day, multiple times a day. But like for the most part, most people don't post like I didn't post like I post as a coach before coaching. So it's just something that like you have to do. To me, that's like the biggest thing is you just have to get into the habit, just like anything else, just like your workouts, just like you're drinking your shake every day. And that's also personal development, is like getting over fear. But we definitely will talk about that. And we talk about that a little bit in the workshop, is like not caring what other people think and doing this for you.
Yeah, I want to like take out all this thinking. So much thinking, because like, okay, the reality is it's a job. I'm just venting right now, like, cause I hear this a lot. Like there's no time, I don't know what to post. I don't know. But it's like, that's why I want to streamline, like, here's what you do it. And like try to make that more clear, because it's just like any job. There's things we have to do to get the money to get paid for the job. And so I feel like there's so many people, it's this like, I don't know, there's a misconnection, because it's like, do what we do, and then they want to do it, but they're like, oh, but I don't want to do that. So I want to because maybe if they feel like, oh, these are my duties, then it doesn't feel like I don't have to come up with this content. It's like, if we streamline it in a way where we're telling people what to post, when to post it, just in the very beginning. This is just me thinking out loud. Maybe it will become easier, I don't know. Because I just feel like there's so much, like and I've been guilty of it too, like overthinking to the point where no action's happening, and then training to the point of being burnt out and still not getting anything done. So yeah, I'm just thinking out loud. I don't want to do the work for people, but I want to make it more simple, so they just are like doing it, and then they don't have to feel like it's taking up all this time.
I think in the workshop maybe, or maybe we can create a video for like right when they get started to focus on mindset, because that is like thinking of this as a real job, because I think that's the biggest thing is people come into this, they're like, oh, I'm doing this for fun, or oh, this is a hobby, or oh, like if you got a part-time job, you wouldn't go into that job and like dick around or be like, I don't know, or I'm freaking out because I don't know how to do this. Like you freak out, but then you're like, okay, I'm just gonna learn. So we just have to maybe approach this with being, which is hard because we don't want to be the boss. We don't want to come from like a management mentality, but creating leaders within our workshop or people who want to be entrepreneurs and want to have that mindset, and like just maybe stressing that this is a business and you treat it like any other job. I freaked out. I always use this example. I freaked out when I started at Starbucks. I was like, how am I going to remember a skinny vanilla latte? How am I going to remember some mental chill? Like it literally never goes away now. But
Could you imagine if you were like, I don't feel comfortable making that coffee drink. I don't want to do that today. I do not feel comfortable. It's kind of, think about it, it's kind of the same thing. I think about like retail. I was really scared. I had to go up to talk to people that didn't want my help and be like, hi, can I help you find a shirt? Like, but I just did it because I knew I had to, so I would keep my job, So I feel like we just need to empower our newer coaches. So I don't know, like I don't want to be a boss, but I almost wonder if like we act a little bit more like bosses in the very beginning, and just to lay out expectations more so. And then they can get it going from there. Does that make sense? That's just where I'm going with my thought process. Because this like figure it out and just do it isn't working.
I mean, I also, to kind of piggyback on you, Amber, maybe with those expectations, with it have like by week 1 you should have done this, or by week 2 you should have done this. So like coming out post week 1, dear God, please come out. And then week 2, like I don't know what, like setting those expectations, but having like just like we love our deadlines. So
that's what I want to create with that monthly marketing plan, is that like telling them and then be like, by week 1, this is everything you should have done. Week 2, by your final 30 days, like this is what, and then it just gets people in the flow.
Totally. And then if something's not working for someone, then I think it's easier to be like, okay, well, cool. Let's review. It doesn't look like you did anything. So, or, looks like you didn't do this part. So let's work on that this week. Or, it would just, I think, help us be better mentors and know what to tell people.
But we really want to focus on a strong system for our new coaches, not only for us and for our new coaches, but so you guys can feel really good about welcoming people to the team, because we almost wondered too if like newer coaches, or just even sometimes you feel like flustered and you're like, I don't know how I'm going to get somebody started and be successful when I'm not where I need to be. So we want to remove that and give you guys the tools to get people started in Success Club and Emerald right away and like running with you. So that is the point to that.
I think something you could pair with like the training, like piggybacking off of what Amanda said, like having expectations for the week, but also maybe even, and these could be pre-recorded, having a power hour each section of the training that they should be like doing, like to help them through it. Like, cause you know how like when you record I've been on tons of live power hours, and anytime you always hear something new. So it might be interesting to have one like every section for them to like watch and do the power hour with, so they get in the actions of like doing it too. That might be helpful.
I agree. Because I think it was helpful to watch Amy go over the success tracker. So I think for new coaches, like going over things like in a live situation would, I'd be down to host that, because I think that would get the questions going, because people aren't going to come up with questions till they get there. So it's like, be nice to.
Yeah, and you could read like the invite you're using right now, like live, just like really get it open so that they can reference off of it and stuff.
And what's cool with that too is not the same person has to host it every month or every week. Is like we could rotate for everybody. So like hopefully we get enough people that we can like rotate and see you guys step up as leaders too, which is what we want to give you the chance to do.
Yeah, and then we'll just figure out from doing it what's not working and what's working, and I think that would be cool. Okay, so just to be clear, we're doing the Become a Coach workshop, which is called Side Hustle to Success on Facebook. We will post the link so you guys know, and I will post my scripts in both the teams today of what I'm using. But we're doing that on the 25th to 27th. We want to like really talk up how we're getting our new coaches started right. So when is that? Like May? What did you say? May 1st?
I didn't actually say a date.
What?
I didn't actually say it, but we're doing.
I thought you said like a monthly marketing plan. I guess I was just thinking in my head, it'd be for May.
So what I want to create with this marketing plan is I want it to just be a first 30 days, not focused on like a single month. Like
okay.
Months change. So, and then for people who start in the middle of the month, they still have something for their first 30 days. I was trying to figure,
Gotcha.
But then, we could have like the training, whether it's units in the team page, like we can figure all those other things
Yeah,
out.
I guess in my mind, I was trying to think of a deadline to like figure out what the marketing plan is. Like when we need to figure this out too. But I think it'd be cool when we could even use it in our inviting, because we can be like, oh, whoever joins is going to get this epic mentoring. I don't know. I'm going to try to think of a better way to describe it.
We're figuring out as we go too, you guys.
I have one little thing, because I know I talk about Captivate a lot, but Captivate's changed because Instagram changed and the cloud service is no more. Just FYI.
Okay.
If anybody paid for it, you can get your money back.
Oh, good to know.
Apply to it. You have to apply for it through their thing, but apparently because Instagram changed their algorithm again, they were reporting apps like that, and so now there's no cloud service. You can still use the app and do the local actions, but you can't use the cloud service, which was the coolest part, I feel like.
That sucks. I know there's been a lot of weird changes. We're in a group where me and Kate are in like an Instagram push group thing where somebody shared a video I watched today all about shadow banning and the Instagram changes. And I think it's just important to try to make sure that your hashtags are somewhat matching what you are talking about, and try not to use the same hashtags over and over and over again. And if you're using Captivate and stuff like that, I don't think it's going to be as useful until they I don't know, Captivate might figure out another way around the new updates, but for now it's back to organic, organic connecting.
Can you post that video on the team page? The one?
Yeah, I can. I watched it and
I haven't watched it. I was just
it's like 7 minutes long. A lot of it I was like, I don't even know what. But it's all about how this is the biggest change to Instagram since last fall. And I guess like twice a year they do some kind of changes. So I noticed that I had less people watching my stories, and I noticed like a few things. Somebody actually asked me like why they couldn't, one of my coaches was like, I can't post on Instagram. I think they just did like changed something up. And so some of you might not have noticed at all. I only noticed that I had less views on my stories for like a day. So
Yeah, because I noticed the thing about the hashtags you were saying and not using the same hashtag. So I'm curious about that part. I want to listen.
yeah, because there's like the whole shadow banning thing. Instagram can make it so you won't show up on the hashtag. You'll still show up to your followers though. So it's
Oh, okay.
yeah, like you'll still right? I get confused. I don't know.
Depends. Like it really. Who knows? Like before, everybody was like shadow ban.
Why you gotta be so complicated and so awesome, Instagram? Like, get it together.
People were saying shadow banning like wasn't real when it happened to me like a year ago, and I was annoyed about it, or like a year or two ago when it first happened to me. I was like, I got shadow banned because my stuff wasn't appearing anywhere. And then I had somebody who works for Instagram who follows me reach out and be like, that's not a real thing. Like, then tell me. But yeah, and then when I've talked about it, even like in the last year when I talked about it, when I thought it was happening again, I had somebody reach out to me and they're like, that's not, and who works for a company who works with Instagram, and they're like, that's not a real thing. So it's very interesting when I hear that term thrown around, because I've had other people tell me it's it's not real. It could just be like a glitch. I'm pretty sure when it happens, it's like a glitch in the system. It's not. But maybe now they're making it, maybe like they're like, everybody was using this term, so now we're going to make it a real thing. Like, I don't know.
I'll share the video though.
I'll watch the video. Oh, well, thank you guys. This call went a little bit over, but it was really good. It was nice to get some feedback. And again, I want to challenge everybody on here. 1, make a list of all the reasons coaching is changing your life. 10 to 20 different ways you can talk about it. You can talk about these things on your stories every day, like a new topic every day. You could be like, leading up to, you could even make this a thing. Be like, my team is hosting a Become a Coach workshop next weekend. And leading up to that, every day I'm going to share like a different reason why coaching is changing my life. Even just say that and talk about that. I just came up with that on the fly. And then like invite people to it and like challenge yourself to have at least 10 people that you're going to add and you're going to engage with, because you've got a week and a half to do it.
And if these new coaches, say you get 10 people in the sneak peek and just 2 or 3 of them sign up, you could be in Success Club, depending on if you have any points yet.
And be Emerald.
And you could be Emerald. Exactly. You could end the month Emerald and in Success Club. What?
I'm using my hands a lot tonight. I don't know why. Okay. Thank you guys for hopping on. I'll get the recording up soon and we'll get everything we talked about. And then anybody who's watching this recording, if you do want to volunteer for the sneak peek to post, let Amber and I know. So thank you guys.
Hi, thank you.